Buddy, to the CSFL playoff picture reveal video. I am on the go to the airport, so I have to do this on the go. So mind the sound. Sorry for all the noise in the background. This is your Commissioner D. Saint here with some exciting news. As you can see on the screen, the Werewolves versus the Piranhas will be the first matchup of the weekend. 9-6 Werewolves and the 9-6 Piranhas. The Werewolves were on a long winning streak. I believe they had 5 wins in a row before they lost in week 15, and the Piranhas are on a 3-game winning streak. The Werewolves have the number 1 defense going into the playoffs, and that is always a good sign historically in the CSFL history. Lester Frost, the quarterback for the Werewolves, leads his team to the playoffs after taking over for Brian Miller. Chris Jones, the running back, looking strong. Shane Antwine, fine as wine. Antwine still got a little bit of spark left in him. And they also got Alan Dwight there, and they got a lot of rookie receivers. They got a lot of great defensive players. Again, number 1 ranked defense, these Werewolves. They've just been playing phenomenal. I'm excited to see them in the postseason going against the Piranhas. The Piranhas are at home. I believe they're at home, the Piranhas, and they've been playing really well as well. They've been upsetting a lot of teams. They beat the Rhinos, actually, in week 15, and Benjamin Harris here at quarterback for the Piranhas, handing the ball off to Isaac Cobb, and Isaac Cobb now has brought his team to two straight playoff appearances, and last season got his team to the championship when he beat the Rhinos and the Vipers in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Isaac Cobb, the running back for the Piranhas, the 1-year pro, has been playing phenomenal this season. He is 4th ranked rushing offense, but the Piranhas are no slouch on defense either. This is going to be a real hard-header defensive match, low scoring, running the ball kind of smash mouth kind of football game seems to be playing out right here in front of us. The 2nd overall defense for the Piranhas and the 1st overall defense for the Werewolves. If you love defense, this is the game you want to watch. First matchup here in season 10 playoffs. Who will move on to the semifinals? Piranhas have an amazing playoff record. Werewolves have only been to the semifinals twice, and they lost both times. Will they get a chance to get back to the semifinals and maybe get to their first ever championship appearance, or will the Piranhas go back-to-back appearances in the championship? The Piranhas lost last season to the Dragons. All right, next matchup is the Demons versus the Wildcats. This is going to be an offensive shootout, exact opposite from the last game. The number 1 ranked offense going against the number 8th ranked offense in the Demons, but that is very underrated as they do score a lot of points. They are tied for 5th, the Demons, for most points per game, and the Wildcats are 1st for most points per game with 34.4. These two teams know how to score, and their defenses have been having a hard time. Let's just put it that way. The pass defense for the Demons is 14th ranked out of 16 teams, and the Wildcats pass defense is 16th. So these two teams know how to play offense, know how to light up the scoreboard, and neither of them can stop the pass. So I'm going to say there's going to be at least 8 passing touchdowns between the two quarterbacks, Eric Bell and Pat Hall, both of them having phenomenal seasons. Once again, Pat Hall way up there for touchdowns, tying, I believe, Thomas Brown this season for most passing touchdowns. And Eric Bell has been extremely efficient. The offense for the Demons, let's talk about them a little bit. They got Jackie Wilson on a trade from their rival, the Scorpions, and were able to lock him in and actually did really well with him, and had a breakout game in the 2nd game that they got him. I believe he had 4 or 5 touchdowns. Jackie Wilson just absolutely lit it up. So to see the Demons have another offensive weapon is really scary for any opposing team. Eric Bell, the quarterback for the Demons, playing phenomenal. The running back, Derek Crowder, been playing really well. He's been coming through when they need him the most in clutch moments. The wide receiving core for the Demons is just bananas. And you could say the same thing about the Wildcats. Both of these teams have incredible wide receivers, top 3, top 5 easily, between Dave Rogers for the Wildcats and Troy Jackson. Keep an eye out for those guys for the Wildcats, and for the Demons, keep an eye out for CJ White, Seth White and CJ Holiday. Those two receivers have been absolutely lighting it up, and now they got Jackie Wilson as well. Man, these Demons are rolling. These Wildcats are rolling. 11 wins and only 4 losses for the Wildcats. 8-7. The Demons have been struggling in the back half, but actually just started to get a little bit of momentum in the middle of the season. Let's see if they can put this together and knock off the Wildcats and get to the semifinals. Let's see if the Demons can win a ball game without Eric Watson. Without Eric Watson there, can the Demons win a playoff game? They're not going against the Bears in the first round. This should be their chance to knock off the Wildcats. And for the Wildcats, this is their chance to knock off the Demons and get back to the semifinals and maybe get back to a championship appearance. These are huge games and huge matchups. Two of these offensive titans, we could talk about them all day. That is your second matchup for the weekend. And now let's go to the next one. We got the Bears versus the Wolverines. I love how all these teams' identities are matching up with each other. The defensive teams are matching up. The offensive teams are matching up. And now the same thing you could say with these two. These are the two brightest, youngest stars, or teams filled with young stars. The Bears have so many young players that are playing amazing, and the Wolverines have like the best track record ever in CSFL history, made potentially for picking rookies, as their rookies are shining everywhere. So this is a really young team that loves to run the ball and play very aggressive on defense, and they just happen to meet each other in the first round. This is going to be probably my favorite matchup this is definitely my favorite matchup of the weekend, because both these teams are steaming hot. They were rolling teams all season. The Bears lost a couple just on the last little bit of the stretch, and the Wolverines have been knocking off big teams. 10 wins, 10-5 for these Wolverines who missed the playoffs last season. That is humongous for this Wolverines team. Let's take a look at them for a couple seconds. Johnny Romolo, the running back, he was Rookie of the Year last year and now is looking to be MVP of the season. He was rolling teams all season. 25 rushing touchdowns, setting the record, also having 3 receiving. So I believe that's a total of 28 touchdowns for Johnny Romolo in his second year. He's just a 1-year pro now. Like, wow, the Wolverines look amazing. And also the Wolverines wide receiver, rookie wide receiver, the Wolverines look to be getting 2 Rookie of the Year awards back-to-back seasons. First with Johnny Romolo, and now this year we're looking at Chad Grant, the number 1 wide receiver pick in the first round, went to the Wolverines, and he lit it up with 14 touchdowns, I believe, over 1,000 yards, tons of catches. He got big touchdowns when they needed him the most, and I'm really excited about this offensive team, or the offense for this Wolverines team. But they have also an amazing defense. Ty Ward at corner, Duke Warner. They got the free safety who's actually a rookie who's been crushing it all season. They got the rookie middle linebacker as well, the Wolverines, going in there. McCoy, who's been lighting it up for them, doing really well. I'm really excited about this Wolverines team. They also got Harvey Howard at outside linebacker there that they got there. Man, Wolverines are rolling. Super excited about them. Let's talk about the Bears a little bit, because the Bears are the big matchup here. I can't remember who won the head-to-head matchup when these two teams played, but we'll have to go back and look. The Bears are looking amazing as well. Talk about young, hot players. Jimmy Capps for the Bears, the quarterback, was playing phenomenal, super clutch, 9-6, got them to the playoffs again. They played the Demons last season and beat them and then lost in the semifinals. Can the Bears win again in the first round, get their team to the semifinals, and maybe get their first ever championship appearance? This Bears team, they have been working at this for a long time, and now they got their team exactly the way they want it, and I'm really excited for this ball club. Mike Davis, the running back, just been rolling, steaming people. Jimmy Capps, the quarterback, has been really clutch in big moments. Blaine Strickland has been their X factor. They got a lot of wide receivers that are actually doing really well as well. Corey Matthews. They've been doing really well at wide receiver. We've been making great picks, but their big one is their defense. It only comes up as ranked 9th, which I'm shocked, to be honest with you, but their defense has been second overall for turnovers. Alan Sterling, the cornerback, has been playing amazing. He has 5 interceptions, and so does Santonio Robertson. And those two cornerbacks for the Bears are both second and third for most interceptions on the season, and they both got 5. And that's their two corners. They've been locking it down. Their defensive line has been playing really well as well. The Bears are really strong all over the place. Their young rookies are playing really well at linebacker. Yeah, they're here for a reason. Can the Bears make some noise? We can talk about them all day. I'm excited for them to fight these Wolverines. Who's going to win? I really think this is the most even matchup of the weekend here. So, yeah, keep in mind, this is good. This is a big one. You're not going to want to miss it. Bears versus the Wolverines. And then the final matchup of the weekend. Can you believe it? The Gators versus the Rhinos. They couldn't be written any better. These two teams trade with each other more than anybody. These two teams have a long history together. These two teams are the wheelers and dealers. These two teams are the hottest teams of the last few seasons. Obviously, the Rhinos winning 2 championships in the last 3 seasons. And the Gators finally getting their first seed, first time ever in franchise history that the Gators get a first seed. Also, they set the record, beating the Demons for most wins in a season with 13 wins. No one has ever had 13 wins ever. And the Gators and Thomas Brown has been amazing. And that's hard for me to say because I always hate on Thomas Brown. But Thomas Brown, it really proved the critics wrong this year. He has been on a hot streak. Every time they get stopped or any time they get stuffed for the run, he comes through every time this season in the air and is so efficient doesn't have to pass a lot, but when he does, he's making amazing decisions. He's, what was I going to say? He is got the best quarterback rating for the season out of any other quarterback. Like, he's got the best quarterback rating, yeah. He and also is tied for most passing touchdown. Thomas Brown has been nothing but perfection this season. His wide receivers, obviously, Nicholas Hawk has been playing amazing that they got for the trade from the Demons. Darius Henson has been so clutch. Every time they need him and they call on him, he comes through every time. And of course, Rico Nasty has been rolling people over. I believe he is second for most rushing yards. This team has been phenomenal. They are the number 1 for rushing offense. And they are second for points per game, second total offense, first for rush defense, and third for turnover differential. These Gators are real strong and real dangerous. Can the Rhinos knock off the number 1 seed, or will the Gators crush the Rhinos and roll to the semifinals and potentially get their first ever championship? They went to the championship in season 2. Can they get back there, and can Thomas Brown bring one home for the Gators? And then, last but not least, these Rhinos, when they get hot, and they have arguably the best owner slash coach in CSFL history. He has come up with some of the greatest game plans we've ever seen. Can he come up with the best one here and knock out these Gators, the number 1 seed, as the 8th seed? Historically, the 8th seed actually has a really good record against the number 1 seed. Will the Rhinos be able to take advantage of these Gators that don't have a lot of postseason wins and postseason experience, and the Rhinos have so much experience and so much experience winning in the playoffs? Let's see what these Rhinos decide to do. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They have not been looking good the last 3 weeks. Believe it or not, they were 8-5 or 8-4, so they could have easily gotten a few more wins, but 13th ranked offense, but they are 3rd for ranked defense. Their defense has been playing amazing and coming through clutch. The turnover titans, they are tied, or not tied, they are 1st for turnover differential, these Rhinos. So both these teams know how to turn it over. They got all their veterans still there. Bryce Locker at running back for the Rhinos, Alonzo Atkins, Randy Dorsey, Eric Kelly. They've all been playing really well this season, and their defense has not been letting up at all. Actually, their defense is a big reason why they've been winning these games. Excuse me. With Irv Orlando, Alex Campbell, the list goes on with these guys. Xavier Dawson has just been bodying people. I'm excited for this matchup. This is going to be the biggest matchup of the weekend for sure. Everyone's going to be watching this one. My favorite matchup is going to be the Bears and the Wolverines. The Demons and the Wildcats are going to be a heck of a shootout, and the Werewolves and the Piranhas is going to be an amazing defensive matchup. Thanks for watching this video, and the playoffs coming up this weekend, guys. Who's going to win?